Okay, we're going to look at an example of the Carnival game project, and then we're going to look at all of the directions that's going to go along. There's another video that I have that deals with just the mechanics of how to use Word and insert pictures into your spinners and other game pieces. Okay, when you download your project from My Math Lab and you open it up in Word, be sure that you open it up to where that you can see the header. This top part up here where it says Probability Project and the name John Doe, that's in the header, so be sure you're viewing that in Word. You need to be sure that you name your game, and mine is called Romeo and Juliet. And you need a picture of your game pieces. And so you can see that I have 2 spinners. Okay, instructions for playing the game. Spin each spinner 1 time. Each spin must make the arrow go around 1 complete turn. If your spinner lands on peanut butter and jelly, you win a set of PB&J key rings. If your spinner lands on Romeo and Juliet, you win a teddy bear, and the prizes are shown below. One thing I want to point out here is that this is compound probability. You have 2 spinners, and in order to win something, you have to land on a combination like peanut butter on the first spinner and jelly on the second spinner. So this is an and probability. And the second way to win a prize is if you land on Romeo and Juliet. So this is another compound probability. Notice that there are 2 different prizes. And I've got pictures of both of those prizes. And the prizes are going to have different probabilities. My probability distribution table shows all of the possible outcomes here from spinning those 2 spinners. It shows the probabilities and how I calculated those probabilities. And then I have the probability of winning the keychain, the probability of winning a teddy bear, the probability of winning any prize, and then the probability of not winning. Okay, we're going to read the directions for your Carnival game, and you need to be sure you check your email for the due date for the project. Okay, you're a Carnival owner and you want to design a game that meets the following criteria. The probability of winning or losing the game is based on theoretical probability. The game is not a game of skill such as shooting a basketball. This is a game of chance, not a game of skill. So you can't shoot a basketball or throw darts or any of that type of thing. The game must be different from the example given in class, in which 2 4-section spinners are used. The game must include at least 2 prize levels with different probabilities. So the probability of winning 1 prize has to be different than the probability of winning the second prize. The game must contain at least one of the following: overlapping or probability, non-overlapping or probability, dependent and probability, independent and probability. All of these are examples of compound probabilities. That means you have 2 different probabilities and you're going to either add them or multiply them. Now, one thing I want to mention here before I forget is that this doesn't have to be like a real carnival game where you have winners and losers. If you want to pretend it's a carnival game for like a boys or girls club or some type of school organization, and you want to have everybody that plays the game to win, that's fine. That doesn't matter. Your carnival game needs to meet the criteria above, and you may use any of the templates provided. Okay, this part right here is something that I used to have in this project. I did not provide you templates. because they ended up being just more trouble than they were worth. So just go to Google and find a spinner or a blank deck of cards. Now you can design your own cards if you want to. If you want to use a standard card, like ace through king, you can. But my suggestion to you is if you're going to use cards, keep it less than 5 cards. Okay, your project needs to include the name of the game, a 2-dimensional model of the game pieces, instructions for playing the game, and right here, what you should do is get somebody in your family or a friend to read the instructions that you have written out to be sure that they understand exactly what it means on how you're going to play the game and clear criteria for winning. And also you need to include a graphic of the prizes or picture of the prize that you're going to be winning. You also need to include a probability distribution table, the probability of winning each prize, the probability of winning any prize, and the probability of not winning. So you download the project template from my math lab, type the project, and then email it to me. And there will be no late penalties for the spring semester of 2020. Okay, once you have an idea of what you would like for your game to be, is it going to be a spinner? Is it going to be cards? Is it going to be a die? Or is it going to be like maybe a spinner and a card? Once you get a good idea for what your game pieces are going to look like and the directions for playing them, then email me your project so I can be sure you're on the right track before you go any further. And you can keep emailing me your project along the way so I can be sure that you're on the right track. Also, what you want to do is to use this rubric that you can download as a checklist to be sure that you have each of these things listed. And again, it might be helpful to have a family member to go through the checklist with you, just to double check that, to be sure that you have everything that you're supposed to. So watch the next video that goes along with this on how to use the text box function on how to get pictures into your spinner.